So at the end of last year, we did some sensing sessions, got some great feedback from the team. And so if you guys are old hats, you'll see a couple of format adjustments. Hopefully they don't throw you off too much. If you are new to it, nothing will seem unfamiliar with you. So just roll with us on this. But in our new year, we have a new format. So we are going to kick this call off with Bob and the Situation Unit. So Bob, I will hand it over to you and you can give us the what for, sir.
You're muted, Bob.
Thanks. Happy New Year to all of you. I just want to give a real brief overview for the new folks that are here about what we are all about in Situation. And we've done a lot of changes, so there's some things that are new, even to the old hands. Next slide, please. Okay. One of the things about our mission statement for the Situation Unit is, and the real key is timely, useful intelligence. Okay, we really are an intelligence gathering operation, and it's that it needs to be timely. If we're going to lean forward as an organization, we have to provide timely information, and it has to be useful. It has to bring value. Okay, and that's hugely important. One of our goals is to be self-sufficient, and the reason for that is if we become a drag on the organization, we're no good to anybody. Okay, so we really work hard to be self-sufficient, so we're adding value, not subtracting value. We want to make sure that we're including gray shirts, including those unable to deploy. We think there's a real place for gray shirts that, typically speaking, senior folk, people that are physically unable to deploy, people that are for family reasons or for work reasons, they can't go, but they want to help, and we have a place for them. We have work we can do. Okay, and we all, as a team, we are really pledged to each other to make sure that we're successful, and we overlap roles quite a bit. And the real pledge is that we continue to provide useful, timely intelligence until the last gray shirt goes home. We are still making reports in Kentucky. We started making reports the night before the storm came in, and we are still providing some weather overview. Next slide, please. Just a little bit of history. We started out as a weather unit in Georgia in 2019, and in 2020 we expanded into a weather unit that was providing forecasting and weather intelligence at the Southeast Territory level. And in 2021, we did a lot of big changes, really cool stuff. We morphed into the South Branch Situation Unit. And these are some of the things that we're doing now. We're providing weather, as we always have been, weather forecasts. Okay, now at the branch level, I'm sure most of all of you have seen them in Watchtower, and we also provide them for MPT channels, and we're also now providing everybody in the field always gets at least one weather forecast a day, and it's a 3-day rolling forecast, and that's done to help provide protection to our deployed gray shirts. We're always, we work to scrub the internet for information. That's essentially social media pages. And it's also scrubbing information from National Weather Service, from FEMA dashboards, always trying to gather up information that's useful in the MPT process. As some of you know, we do MPT briefings, and we try to open every session with a briefing about where we are organizationally. We provide post-event intel. That means after the storm goes through, we're still trying to provide intelligence as to what's going on. Road closures, how many power outages, trying to make sure that the MPT process as it continues and on into Recon and on into Advon, that we are providing information that's useful. And regarding the Recon and the Advon, Recon, during Ida, we were working to try and locate fuel. We were working to try and provide support information for recon. And up in Kentucky, we've now started to help identify potential fobs. We've helped, once the fob is set up in the C&G, to work with the logistics section chief to try and provide information about where he can find food, where he can find donated food, where he can find, he or she can find laundry services, where he or she can provide all of the things that we need to make a fob run. And that's some of the support that we handle at the C&G. The ongoing weather goes to the planning section chief, and we also provide information regarding damage reports that have come in through crisis cleanup and other sources as we can find them. Maybe the EMs are posting that. So we're trying to provide damage information to try to provide, as you can see, we are really working hard to try and provide useful information, useful intelligence to the process, starting from the time the event, or actually before the event takes place, all the way through the life of the event. Next slide, please. We are, just a little bit about our organization. We do not organize our organization by geo area. Unlike a lot of other portions of our operation, we organize by our expertise. We have forecasters. We have some really great forecasters and weather people. We have some folks that track down weather intelligence information. How, what are we getting in the way of flood reports? What are we getting in the way of windstorm reports from the National Weather Service and other sources? We're trying to give MPT intel, such as COVID information, such as what do we know about other VOADs as we find it. All the things. Many of you have seen our 9-box brief, and we're still using it, and it still seems to be working out pretty well. And again, we have folks that we have a couple people that are working on recon and advon intel. Okay, which are like, what are the resources that are out there? Pretty cool thing. We've gathered up enough data where we've exceeded the capacity of XL Online. Okay, we can tell you where every hospital in the United States is and some other really cool stuff. But we have people that are gathering that and putting that together into useful information, and C&G support is the stuff about claims. Next slide, please. And for Steve S., who thinks I talk too much, this is the last slide. The keys to our success. There's two things that we need you guys to help us with that are hugely important. And one of them is, please involve us early. Get us into the game as early as you can. If we wait too long, I don't bring any, we don't as a team bring any value to the table unless we get into it early and push. Doctorman, behave yourself. Okay. And the last one is communicate early and often. One of the things that worked out real well in Kentucky for us was we set up chats. At the beginning, there were 3 fobs running. So we set up chats for the planning section chief, all 3 of them, and us, the 3 operations chiefs and us, and the 3 the planners, the ops people, and the logistics section chiefs and us. And we were able to, and we had people that were on our team that were liaisoning with those folks, and we were really, we did real well on that communication. So a lot of communications, the more the merrier on communications, and the better it'll get. And the last thing I'll say is stay tuned for some new products. We're working on some really exciting things, and I think it's, there's some real exciting things that we're working on. Stay tuned, and we'll be letting you guys know as the year progresses. So for all of you that are new to our leadership team, welcome. And for all of you that have been around for a while, I hope we brought you some value on some new stuff. End of report.
Thank you, Bob. Excited to see the new products and just love the growth of the situation unit over the last couple of years. Let's kick it for a planning update over to Sandy to kind of give us the current picture within the branch.
Hello, everybody. All my fellow gray shirt brothers and sisters. I'm glad to be back in the fray. So for the planning section, it's been a very busy time here. So far, we've created 6 ISRs, approved 6 recon plans, and one of those was just the other evening. And my cookies are done. Sorry about that. And one was just the other morning, actually. The planning team got together in a matter of a few hours, had a recon plan out for Texas. So that was amazing. We've had 4 approved Warnos, 3 approved Advons, and 3 op boards approved. And our superstar for this meeting is Steve, of course, from my beautiful state of Florida. And he got approved for his first ISR all the way to op board for Unbridled Spring. So congrats, Steve, on that. You did awesome, man. You really pushed it through. So that's pretty much it. You can see our planning is going all the way across the branch. So we love working with you guys, and let us know if there's anything the planning section can do for you. Over and out.
Thank you, Sandy. Congratulations, Steve, on getting through. And also just kind of wild. We're only 11 days into the year, and that map is already filling up super quick. Next, to kind of complete the branch picture, is to talk about our rebuild program. We will hear from Mr. Georgia Dog himself, Brandon Callahan.
Well, if I can manage to unmute, maybe. Thanks, Drew. And go fucking dogs for all my Alabama fans out there. Sorry, sucks to suck. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know me, my name is Brandon Callahan. I'm the Senior Associate for Rebuild Operations. I run the day-to-day operations for our rebuild program based in Houston, Texas. Just going to run through quick, not going to read off the slides. It's one of my biggest pet peeves in the world. You guys are all hopefully capable of reading this in some form or fashion. If you're not, I will read it to you like a bedtime story one-on-one. But the biggest thing I want to open with is, we've talked about it. We've struggled with it through the pandemic. But rebuild is starting to open back up for volunteers. The first open back on that will be a 2-week deployment with some of our team in Houston deploying to Selma, Alabama. Shout out to Jim Lehman and Adam Garner helping us put some of that together and plan it. Stay tuned for more information on that. So we're going to get out there, finally put some of our new model to the test. We're going to deploy one of our organic staff teams of foremen and carpenters and things like that to Selma. Link up with some shit hot volunteers in the field and crush some of these houses out. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I'll be out there myself. Hope to see some of you guys out there. It'll be a great time. We finished 24 houses in 2021 with the crew we have across 3 states, which has been it's been a hell of a time through the pandemic. We're looking to try and double that or more throughout 2022. So exciting there. We've already finished the first house and put 5 roofs on in the first 11 days of 2022. So we're on our way there. Right now we're active in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and Alaska, looking to launch potentially another in Southeast Louisiana in response to Ida. We're looking to launch in Kentucky as well as Montana. So we'll be active in 7 states here in the next 3 or 4 months. Rebuild is on a mission to try to take over the world. So that's we try to aim small here, use SMART goals, something that's realistically achievable. So we're just going to go world domination for right now. We're still kicking it. We're finally going to get to where you guys are going to start seeing some more come out over us throughout this first quarter of 2022 about how we're engaging and able to get volunteers back out in the field. That's in Houston. That's in Kentucky, Alabama, Louisiana. We're gonna really start being able to turn that back on. So we're super stoked about that. Super happy to see you guys back out, hanging out with us and drinking our beer and swinging some hammers. I'm not gonna dive into many more specifics. There's a lot coming for us in 2022. We're excited to work with all of you guys to make this happen. Point of contact there if you have rebuild questions. As always, send them my way. Love you guys. Thanks for having me, and we're out.
Thank you, Brandon. Looking forward to your Southern rebuilding tour because Lord knows we need it after these last couple of years. Next, if you're wondering who's going to staff all these operations with leadership, Oscar Arauco is going to tell us about the field readiness piece.
Hey, good evening. My name is Oscar. I serve with South Branch Field Readiness. It's a new year, so we have a new name. Field Operations is now called Field Readiness. Field Operations is now Field Readiness. If you serve in a Field Operations role, you now serve in a Field Readiness role. In the lines of effort, you can see basically what the purpose is of the field readiness, and I still need to get used to it myself. Skill sets, basically to identify and develop field leaders, people like you, people who are interested in leading operations from a command and general staff point of view, from the recon advon point of view, from a beginning with the mission planning team field readiness lead point of view, and then being L&Os to emergency management offices, emergency operations centers, or VOADs. If this is you, under leader updates, I invite you to get in touch with your Metro admin or your geographic associate, your operations associate. Currently, Command General Staff is deployed and about to be deployed in two main areas. One is Kentucky, which continues through the 9th. There's a couple places there you can serve, and you might have received the latest text/email for Navajo Nation. Limited Command General Staff slots there. If that interests you, please sign up and make your interest known. Under training, we are all about training. In December, we had South Branch had its first Command General Staff Readiness Tabletop exercise. In January, we had South Branch had its first introduction to the Incident Commander Workshop. In February, we'll have our monthly call beginning. There's always on the first Wednesday, so it's beginning on the 2nd of February, and later on, you can save the date for 5 February. If you missed any of the calls or any of the training, we have a stream channel. The link is there. When you get the slides, you'll be able to click on that. And last but not least, if you're interested, again, in field readiness, serving on Command General Staff, serving on Recon Advon, contact, first of all, your Metro admin/ops associate, or our fearless leader, Bill Salter, or myself. So thank you for serving, and we'll see you in the field. Drew, that's all I have. Back to you.
Thank you so much, Oscar. And yeah, double foot stomp that huge C&G needs in Kentucky. As you'll hear later, we are expanding some of our efforts there. So we will then kick over to how we staff all these operations. Mobilization, I believe Tracy Gray is our briefer.
I am. Good evening. We've got some op events we're supporting. Unbridled Spirit, it has 2 locations in Mayfield and Dawson Springs. That op has we've deployed 428 gray shirts to date, and out of that is 545 deployments in total, and 32 partnered. We've deployed 32 partner volunteers. We're also going to start up a Gainesville recovery op. It'll be limited to 450-mile radius, takes place the 27th through the 29th. The CTA is anticipated no later than 22 January. Stats up in 2022 so far, we've deployed 236 gray shirts for a total of 243 deployments. South Branch has 11,813 deployable gray shirts. 107 of them are new and 13 of them are deployable. Kind of tells us something there. We've got, as far as the leader updates, we have 2 applicants that are in the interview process. So that'll be something to look forward to. And South Branch mobilization team consists of 5 volunteer leaders. And one of our leaders is currently right now, Daniel, is serving in Mayfield as the logistics section chief. So Daniel's out and getting shit done. And then we just added a little slide there for a point of contacts in case anybody is looking for contacts. I'm on the Unbridled Spirit. Jeremy Carter's the mobilization lead. And general mobilization questions have gone to, I think for some time now, serve at teamrubiconusa.com. And then the mobilization, or I'm sorry, the CNG and operational staff can send questions, comments, whatever you'd like to mobilization@teamrubiconusa.org. Oh, I'm sorry, mobilization@teamrubiconusa.org. That's all I know for tonight, guys and gals.
That's awesome. Thanks, Tracy. And yeah, things that are jumping out to me again, 11 days into the year, 236 gray shirts on the ground, less than 2 weeks into the year. That's insane. And then the other piece of it, done by only 5 people on this team. So the big takeaway there, guys, MOB needs your help. If you've got some spare hours to give, hit up those points of contact, put in your application, help feed the beast of these operations so that we continue to get folks and to help those impacted on their worst day. We'll keep rolling. We're going to hit up my favorite logisticians. I believe Kim Sheeran is presenting.
Hey everybody, good evening. So for logistics, we are looking at our lines of effort. We continue to support Unbridled Spirit in their multitude of needs and supporting the requests for any needs for trainings and events. We do have 2 changes with our leadership. Mike Allers has moved up to the geologs for the geo missile area, and Chris Reynolds has come on as the North Carolina logs lead. In terms of our stats right now, we have had for the last 3 quarters 100% of our trailer inventory complete. We do have 4 trailers that are currently deployed, and you can see there are assets for the South Branch. If you need to make contact with any of your logs team, of course, Jeremy Moore is our associate, Anthony Lawson and myself are the branch deputies, and you can also reach the logs folks at sb.logistics@teamrubiconusa.org. Happy 2022.
Oh, there we go. Happy 2022 to you too, Kim. And again, huge lift from the logistics team. They have been scrambling to keep everybody well supplied out there. Thank you for everyone who has driven a trailer, inventoried one, or just continues to help make all that good stuff happen. Next, I believe we're going to go down to Miss Morgan Huggins, who's going to tell us all things communication. How do we let gray shirts know how to get involved out there?
All right, so we are working to grow our team for South Branch comms. Oh, I'm Morgan. I'm your South Branch comms lead, by the way. So if you guys need anything for South Branch comms, reach out to me or Jeremy Moore, our comms associate. We are recruiting to add more to our social media team and our comms events team. We're always looking for more gray shirt photographers. So to help with that, since it's not actually a leadership role, but it's a little gray area, we're going to do a gray shirt AMA, hopefully early February. We have a link in the spreadsheet, but you can't click it on the PowerPoint if you go back and find it, where you can submit your story to tell us about your deployment, and so we can hear more about your experiences as a gray shirt. There's also a link so you can upload your images. We know you guys are getting some images while you're out doing things with other gray shirts, and we want the opportunity to share that too. But before we share it, we got to make sure they meet standards, and you're not showing somebody with a chainsaw close to somebody's neck, not wearing their ear protection. So that's why we always want you guys to vet photos through us first. We also have a new media assets link. So anybody with a Team Rubicon email address can access this, and you can get images that we have approved through deployments. So definitely check that out. You'll find some really cool photos, videos from all the cool things we have going on. And there's just some comm stats if you guys are interested. We did release 3 press releases for Unbridled Spirit and had a lot of media response throughout it. Our top engagement right now on the South Branch Facebook page is in Jacksonville, Florida and Atlanta, Georgia. So good job to that area. And our most engaged post of December was the deployment post for Unbridled Spirit, which is normally the way that goes. That is all I have. And here's a few images from Unbridled Spirit.
shout out if you see yourself or someone you know. All right, next we're going to kick it over to our training team.
Good evening, everybody. So 2022 is going to be a year of training. After years of standing by due to COVID, we are now kicking off, making sure everyone gets trained to go out in the field. With that, we are identifying candidates for train the trainers. As you can see from the stats, we are lacking instructors in the South Branch. So if you're interested, please let us know, contact your ops associate or myself, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. We're also continuing planning DTC in Florida and reaching out to site survey instructors because Palantir is no longer. So we'll be reaching out to them, letting them know a timeline for the update in the curriculum. Huge shout out to Jeff Branham, who is the new South Branch Training Associate. He will be starting on Tuesday, so welcome him to the team. No worries, everyone. I am still here, so I will be your training lead for a little while. And also congratulations to Bill Bontley, who is our new South Branch Chainsaw Cadre Deputy. And with that, I will kick it over to him for the next slide.
Well, I got a speaking part. That's interesting. And as Lisa said, we're short on instructors, but we've got a lot of training sites set up across.
Bill, I think you covered your mic, brother. You're very muffled.
Should I cover my mic? How's that? Can you hear me now? Good. So as Lisa said, we've got a lot of training. We've got a lot of training to do across the board. Obviously, the focus is going to be on instructors. And of course, once you get the instructors, you start to force multiply. But we're in pretty good shape. We don't really know what we've got right now because we have not trained in a while. We seem to get good response. I just deployed up to Kentucky. We had some good Sawyers up there. So over time, we'll start developing a better Sawyer 1 class, and we'll get there. But we're in pretty good shape now. But we've got a lot of training on the board, and it will be very effective, I'm sure.
And then we will roll into our membership presentation with Mr. Derek Berg.
Good evening, all. I am Derek Berg. I'm one of your South Branch membership leads. Membership, if you are not aware, is the ones that want to connect all our new gray shirts and current gray shirts and make sure that they are able to get out and do everything that they need and want to do. So our goal is to make sure that each and every gray shirt knows how to reach out to someone in membership so we can get all their questions answered and help them through the process of deploying and training and all the things that are Team Rubicon. As you see on the slide there, I won't read all of it, but in the last 60 days, we've added almost 800 gray shirts. A quarter of those are from Kentucky and Tennessee, and 100% of those new ones were reached out to by the Kentucky and Tennessee membership team. So they've been rocking it and killing it. And a lot of those are already out there getting deployed. One of the other things that the membership team does is the South Branch, the sb.grayshirt.support email. If you look at your roll call profile, you'll see that there's the Metro contact, and then there's the Gray Shirt support email list. So that's on everyone's profile, and that allows us to connect with someone to make sure that they are being taken care of. And the membership team does have our national sync is next weekend, and we'll be doing additional training in regards to membership into outreach and EMS for all our membership leaders to get everyone on the same page. You see our ongoing and consistent points of contact. And while we do not have any new leaders in this holiday period that we just passed through, we are here to support you in getting those out and to remind you that While the Metro admins are responsible for all of the functional roles, we want to help you not have to carry that all out on your own. So let us know. Let us help you get connected with your local gray shirts, and let's build that team out. That's it.
Thank you, Derek. That's just a huge number of new gray shirts. And also no accident that so many of them are in that Kentucky, Tennessee area responding to the awesome work that you guys are driving out there. We see that time and time again, guys. When we do good work, we draw in good people who are looking to help. So it just makes it that much more important to continue to drive quality operations across the branch. All right. We will now roll into finance with John DeToma. John, your 1 minute warning was 1 minute ago.
Thanks. I was ahead of you. Hi, everybody. John DeToma, South Branch finance lead. Sorry, I've had the COVID here a couple of months ago, and my memory is just about shot. So I'm going to read what I need to say, and hopefully I've hit the target items that Drew identified for us last night. Our finance is charged with obviously the money that the donors provide us, and with the branch financial systems to support operational activities, reimbursements, and event financing. Myself with 2 deputies and 4 finance coordinators support the volunteer leadership team, working closely with administration, logistics, events coordinators, C&G staff, operations staff, and other leaders requiring funding activities using EMS and the finance tracker tool, as well as supporting fellow gray shirts with travel expense reimbursement. And that scares me, having seen the numbers of gray shirts that we've got that are deployable. What is it, almost 12,000? And we've hosted about I think 20 events for Concur training, and we actually provided some training to about 120 people. So we're a little bit shy for people understanding Concur. So I'm hoping a lot of those new folks got Concur backgrounds. But any event, during operation events, we typically have daily communication with the incident commander and or the logistics section chief to maintain expense data for finance tracker updates and additional PEX funding requirements. That becomes our major focus during the operational activities. We work under the direction of the branch deputy director of operations, but at the end of the day, we're supporting leadership in gray shirts so they can do their jobs, and a finance leader must champion TR's cultural principle, your mother's a donor. I'm sure most of you people have heard that phrase. And we encourage every TR member to be a good steward of TR donor dollars. I know that a lot of you get tired of me talking about that, but that is our major role in finance. The finance chart highlights a lot of the activity that we've been involved with for this past year. It's been busy for us, and we will continue to service and support TR's mission. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss the finance activity and aspects to support of TR. Thanks very much. Just to point out for some of you that travel and do expense reports for POV mileage, the new rate for 2022 is 58.5 cents a mile for reimbursement. So that's up a couple of pennies from last year. And the points of contact there, all of our people are available to answer questions at all times, and very upbeat to support all the activities that TR gets involved with. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, John, and thank you to everybody on the finance team who have been working long hours to keep us all honest. And guys, the finance team is your bestest friend in the whole world when you treat them right, because they make you look good, and they also really help us keep the money coming. Everything that we do is more important than money, but it all costs money. So if John and his team aren't there to keep us honest, we're not going to get the funding that we need to help the people who are hurt. All right. I think that wraps up our functional areas, but we've heard a lot about the kinds of ways that we are supporting these operations, not a ton yet about the operations themselves. So we're going to start diving through the different geographic areas, and they're going to tell you what they're doing and how they're doing it. We'll kick it off with the Geo Missile team and Mr. Adam Garner.
Hey, good evening. I am Adam Garner. I'm the operations associate for Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, or as it's lovingly known, Geo Missile. Not all operations going on in our area right now, but we are getting geared up to support rebuild, looking at some other opportunities, and getting some training going. We are looking for volunteer leaders. If you're interested or know someone who's interested, tell your friends, tell your dog, tell them, tell their friends. All right, get in touch with your state admin. And then down below there, I've got the points of contact for each state. Those would be your state admins, Colton Ritchie, James Tockman, and Stephanie West. And then if nobody else talked to you, you email me and I'll talk to you. So I got Drew, back to you.
All right, thank you, Adam. And then we will move down south to Florida, Miss Kayla Hull.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kayla, the Ops Associate for North Florida. I didn't put a fun background picture on here, but now I wish I had. Our operation in Gainesville will run from the 27th to the 29th, doing a full muck and gut of a homeowner's house in Gainesville. It's a great opportunity for those people who got Core Ops trained and are looking to expand on that some more. So look for that. That is going to go out in the newsletter and should be live on roll call within the week. We have leadership vacancies in a lot of our local metro leader vacancies, as well as just leadership in general. So if you are interested, again, tell your friends, your dog, and whomever else Adam told you to tell. We have the disaster training camp coming to North Florida at the end of February. So there's going to be a lot of information coming through from training on that. And then our points of contact for your metros. Right now, we don't have a metro leader in the Melbourne area, but if you're on this call and you're interested, let me know. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, ma'am. And we'll just keep driving further south down to South Florida and the mouth in the south, Miss Sarah Wickham.
Wow, that's quite the compliment. So I'm going to follow the trend of short, sweet, and simple tonight. We don't have any current operations pending right now. We have a lot of vacancies as well. Since we are now North and South Florida, we've got a lot of places to fill within the metro levels, but also leadership. Major initiatives, we are working on a South Florida social to, hopefully get some faces together that haven't seen one another in a minute. So be on the lookout for that. There are pending opportunities if you want to be on the planning committee for that. There will be a roadshow happening in South Florida. So again, start looking for those events here. I finally relocated to the great state of Florida. So I'll be hitting each of the major metros here soon to hopefully meet some of you all. I'll be doing a local presentation at a COAD. And then we're also going to start doing some EM outreach to really do touch points with our local governments to, just reconnect with the metro admins and myself to really beef up those relationships since COVID. And like everyone else, we have our points of contact. So if you don't know who you should be talking to and you live near one of these cities, that's likely who you should be talking to. But if you don't have the ability to talk to them or you don't want to talk to them, feel free to reach out to me and I can always support you as well. So thanks so much. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Sarah. And then we will jump up to the Carolinas. I believe Grant is our presenter.
That is correct, Drew. Happy 2022 to everyone. Coming to you from Columbia, South Carolina, where we continue to rock into 2022 with about 10 low magnitude earthquakes. Nothing to be alarmed about, though. So what we've got up in Charlotte, Mecklenburg, the Emergency Management Office, is a request for assistance in easing some of the increase in COVID on their ambulance services in that area. Teams put together to start analyzing the request for assistance. The major initiatives that we're looking at, the first one really is, maybe both of them transparency, but that first one with including gray shirts into our leadership meetings, our monthly leadership meetings, is to allow them to participate. Hopefully, encourage some of them to seek leadership opportunities, and then just to make sure that they are aware of what is going on. Just another way of communicating what's going on in the Carolinas. The Resilient City Plan, I think I saw someone posted in the chat, and I don't think I'll actually address their question necessarily, but we're looking out through the whole year. How do we address the resilient city? What do we currently have as far as capabilities with our gray shirts? What kind of training needs to be planned? How do we get after the hazards that we'll encounter here in the Carolinas? Do we need more chainsaw? Do we need more recon, site survey, whatever it may be, as far as training? So we're looking out through the whole year, again, to add some predictability for our gray shirts, so that they can plan what type of events that they'll see. Obviously, we can only plan so much when we deal with disasters. The leader update in the upper right, we are hiring, of course, like most everyone else. The logistics, field leadership, our admin for the Carolinas, and the Western Carolinas admin. As you can see in the lower right, Kathy Cook is covering down. She is membership for the Western Carolinas and is covering down currently. Andrew, that's all I've got. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Grant. Awesome to hear that thoughtful rollout of resilient cities. And then we'll close out the right side of the branch and head over to Kentucky, Tennessee. Kate is in the field, so I believe Adam is covering.
That's right. You'll get to put up with me again for another slide. If you haven't heard, up in Kentucky, they've got lots of operations going on. If you get a chance, get out there and help them out. They're going through their after action report right now for the immediate tornado response they had. If you were involved in that and have some input you'd like to give, please get it in. Like I said, ongoing supportive operations, training. Every state, every geo area is looking for those volunteer leaders. So spread the word far and wide. And then, of course, shout out to the Kentucky, Tennessee team. Worked for getting Unbridled Spirits kicked off, showing that what they do best. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, sir. And yes, continuing need in that area. Expect to be pretty active for a while yet. Let's head south. Louisiana, Arkansas. I believe Evan is covering.
Yep, it'll be me tonight. Hi, everybody. If we haven't met, I'm Evan Witt. I'm the Operations Associate for Louisiana and Arkansas. So a couple updates from our end. We do have an operation in planning. We are looking to launch a smaller Type 4 recovery op off the ground in the next couple of weeks in southeast Louisiana, following what is still a lot of damage after Hurricane Ida. So we'll be having more updates on that in the next couple of weeks. We also are putting a lot of focus into building out our training calendar for the next few months. We've got 2 SAW 1 classes coming up and 2 proficiency cut days on the same weekend. We have one in Simpson, Louisiana, which is about an hour west of Alexandria, and a lot of Texas folks are in that radius, so feel free to check that out. Also have another one the 12th and the 13th, that's a typo, in Shreveport. We're also putting some effort into our upcoming roadshow. I'm doing one of 3 series. The first one's going to be the end of this month, and we're going to be doing a lot of EM engagement, some gray shirt socials and whatnot in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and Shreveport, Louisiana. That kind of goes into our other initiative that we're really focusing on, is that gray shirt engagement and those building building those emergency manager relationships specifically in North Louisiana and the major metros in Arkansas, since a lot of our focus has been mid to southern areas of Louisiana. So we're excited to take that forward. We also have one prospective leader in the interviewing process, and our main hiring initiatives and focuses is going to be on planning, membership, and then metro administrators for the various areas. And then listed here is points of contact from some of our folks, so feel free to reach out to them or me if you have any questions. With that, back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Evan. Super excited to see us go back down for some IDA recovery. And if you guys are wondering why you hear so much and see so much the emphasis on those EM engagements, you'll hear more about it during the Unbridled Spirit AAR, but that initial point of connection that Kate and her team had with that EM on the ground is what had us deployed and cutting within less than 24 hours from impact. I think it might have even been close to like 16 hours. So that super fast response depended on that relationship strength. So we'll continue to invest in those. Headed way down south Texas, Miss Emma Juno.
Thanks, Drew. Hey, y'all. Emma Juno. I'm the planning lead for the South Texas area. That fabulous picture was submitted by Jess after our phenomenal recon on Sunday. Houston skyline as they came back. So current operations, we deployed that recon, and something that Elizabeth and I are super, super proud of, and I want to give a big shout out to anybody that was involved in that recon. We went from ISR to recon out the door in under 3 hours on Sunday, which is phenomenal. So thanks to everybody that was involved in that. That was awesome. And we got out there and we found no unmet needs. We're also in the process of planning again our converse mitigation operation. Fingers crossed that finally works out for us to get out there for that SAW work. Our major initiatives, next weekend, the 22nd and 23rd, we have a RASCO event happening. We've got our Mission on Wheels SAW events, January 20th to the 23rd, and then the Metro Road shows. Just like everybody else, we're looking for folks, looking to build our EM relationships, kind of get everybody back fully engaged after our COVID hiatus. Quick shout outs to Dawn, Jess, Cindy, Anthony, Casey, Abe, and Bo and Brandon at Rebuild for that phenomenal ISR to recon work. You guys did awesome. Thank you all for all your hard work. Happy 2022.
Happy 2022 to you too. And as their recon is super impressive, also all the more impressive because it was a Sunday, but they did cheat a little. They used a Rebuild truck. Not all of you will have that Sunday truck reservation quite so available. So something to think about as you try to work through your quick response recons. We will then head back up north, North Texas, Oklahoma, Mr. Des Crawford.
If I could only find access to those trucks to knock on Sundays, I think we'll be good up here. All right, good evening, everybody. My name is Dennis Crawford. I'm the Operations Associate for Oklahoma North Texas. For active operations, we currently do not have any. However, we do have two currently in planning. The first one's going to be the Afghan resettlement. We're calling this Phase 2. This is going to be getting or assisting some of the SIVs actually getting into their residence and establishing their integration into the culture. Our intent is to establish a site to receive, sort, and distribute household goods as part of helping them get started. We also have actually had a meeting earlier today with Williamson County, Texas. We're looking at a potential mitigation project or a proficiency cut down there in that area, and then waiting to hear back from one of the communities in DFW. As far as major initiatives, I will be making my way around the Geo area. Not every metro is listed right here, but here's a rough schedule of when I'm going to be going out and where, specifically the cities in alphabetical order, not by chronological. So for everybody out there in those metros, come look up the event. Like, I'll definitely love to sit down and have a beer with you or exchange questions and answers and all that. As far as leader updates, first hire is going to be Sue McKenzie. She is not a new gray shirt. She actually deployed 4 times in 2021 when she had only been a member of TR for a few months, including 1 stint as a Resel. So deciding it wasn't enough, she decided to throw her hat for planning and hired her. Gladly brought her on board. So welcome, Sue. Britton Woolsey has made a transition. He's not a new face or name to the area. He has actually just today applied for the DFW Metro admin and was unanimously hired. So welcome, Britton. But sadly, with the hire of a DFW Metro admin, you can't have 2 leads. That does mean that our Metro admin, Brandon Durden, is departing us. He is actually still active duty Navy, and he's due to PCS and taking care of his family. He wanted some time to do that before the summer, but he's a large part of why DFW has had the success they have over the past year. So thank you, Brandon, and good luck and farewell in following seas. And there's the points of contacts. My email. It's got 2 I's at the end of Crawford. Thank you. Back to you, Drew.
I appreciate you changing the capital I to the lowercase I. It's much more clear. All right, then heading out west, New Mexico, West Texas, Mr. Marsh Johnson.
How you doing? Marshall Johnson from Field Readiness out of El Paso, Texas. Operations Afghanistan resettlement at Fort Bliss, closed that out to include the FOB ops. A shout out to TFL Jessica Windsor, exceptional job as the TFL. And then La Union, New Mexico, the flood damage, moving the log op, that was also closed out early this year. And then we're in the major initiatives planning phase. We've got the 3 River fire mitigation in Ruidoso, New Mexico coming up. And Las Cruces, New Mexico, emergency management, and El Paso. We're just doing fostering the relationships. That's ongoing. Leader updates, we've got a vacancy in the communications, and that's all I've got for you, Drew.
Thank you, Marshall. Yeah, big shout out to that New Mexico West Texas team for their quick action on moving the cache. That was a New Year's shock to all of us when the cache we were using shut down. All right, that wraps up our operational updates. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two about all of the efforts happening around the branch as we kick off the new year. Next, I'm going to ask Pri and the wellness team to hop on and give us a quick moment of Zen.
Hello, guys. My name is Apri. I am the territory lead for wellness, in case you don't know me. And so just to give you all a quick update on what's going on across the territory, we've got a ton of operations and stuff going on, and we've been hearing some feedback of gray shirts that are just really struggling right now. So if you hear of any gray shirts who need someone to talk to, we've got a whole team of people who love to talk and hear ourselves talk. So please send them our way. We also have some workshops that we're working to have into the first quarter coming up, as well as the second quarter. And we're continuing to send out cards and do buddy checks and all of the different things. So I wanted to end on a safety quote for you guys. It's become one of my new favorites. And it is, safety is not the absence of a threat, but the presence of a connection. And so what a lot of people get with safety is they try to remove obstacles. They try to make the environment safe. And that's great, but it doesn't actually create true safety. True safety comes when we feel connected to other people, because that's when we feel safe enough to grow, to challenge ourselves, and to do more. So TR is great for this. It gives a wonderful platform for people getting to connect with each other. And right now, people really need that sense of connection. We're coming up on, what, year 3 of COVID almost. And so people are really struggling. And getting out on the ops is fantastic. It's giving them a chance to be around people and feel safe again. So this is a great opportunity for people in TR. Come together and connect with each other. I also see some people posting about chainsaw yoga. Guys, bug Junior. I'll do chainsaw yoga every weekend. So please blow up his inbox. Sorry, Junior. That's it from Wellness. Y'all have a great night.
Junior, this is me bugging you about chainsaw yoga. Make it happen. Thank you, Apri, for that closeout and moment of Zen. So just some closing thoughts and discussions. First, but certainly not least significant, last month we closed out with some sad and unexpected news, the departure of Mr. Jim Flory, our leader and a father figure to a lot of us, I know. Super awesome dude, off to his next venture over at Tool Bank. But that being said, we're back in the groove now in 2022, and we flipped the script and are back to welcome. So mentioned earlier on the call, but Jeff Branham is joining the team next week as a full-time training associate. Jeff, do you want to come on camera and just say a few happy words?
Hey y'all, I'm humbled and super excited to start work. Training has a fantastic team in place already. I'm looking forward to working with every single one of them, trying to get everybody trained and out in the field and happy and doing what they can. I appreciate everybody, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you, Jeff. Super excited to have you on board, bud. And guys, if you are wondering if that's the end of our growth as a team, it's not. We're going to keep growing the team this year. We will have postings for additional full-time roles, hopefully sometime soon. Certainly not least of all is backfilling our planning role, but also some other hires to come later in the year. So do keep an eye, and if you're interested, tag us on the staff. Something else I just want to call out as we wrap up the call here. It is currently January 11th. Tomorrow, January 12th, is the 12-year anniversary of the earthquake down in Haiti. It was the seminal event that sort of caused us to create this organization. Jake Wood, Will McNulty, the team that they put together to head and cross over into Haiti to provide aid in the aftermath of that, terrible day. The anniversary is tomorrow, and so in the organization, we have referred to the founding of the organization, which we typically sort of observe as being the 13th or the day after the earthquake. We refer to it as Go Day. So this is Go Day week. And it is a day that we all kind of reflect on and then use to sort of renew ourselves in this desire to serve, in this call of common service that brings us together, makes us gray shirts, and helps us focus our efforts throughout the year. So obviously we have a ton of opportunities coming up within the branch for everyone to serve. Whether that's going out and joining a strike team in Kentucky, or going and assisting with some COVID response in Charlotte, or one of the recovery operations coming up in Florida or Texas or Louisiana. There are many opportunities to serve in the field. Also, as you heard across this call, many opportunities to serve in the background in support, be it in finance or membership or mobilization. We need leaders. We need you guys to continue to kind of step forward, continue to provide the service that you have to these communities, and then also to bring in that next generation of leaders to mentor them and grow them. Because as we've seen throughout this pandemic, the needs that we face as an organization have only become more complex and more frequent, and we're going to continue to step forward to meet that call wherever it comes. Last, but certainly not least, on a personal note, I will not be here next month. You will not see my smiling face. I'm going out on paternity leave. I have 8 working days left. So I will be back with new baby pictures for you all in March. But in the interim, you guys have a kick-ass killer team here that's absolutely going to keep crushing it. I'm not at all worried about what's going to happen in the branch while I'm gone, because I know with you guys there to support these communities, we're just going to have amazing things continue to happen. So thank you all for being here tonight. Thank you for your service last year. Let's get some shit done in 2022. Thanks, y'all. Have a great night. I will stop the recording now. And as per usual,